What is up, guys? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. I'm Chris Brock, the co-leader, and this week is the horror battle week. Last week we did, I think, our cheap horror theme. That's what it was. I reviewed. I'm trying to think of the title of the film. It was Bloody Murder 2: Closing Camp. I think it was from the year 2003. Jeremy Burchett reviewed Axe Giant: The Wrath of Paul Bunyan. The Jay Sloan reviewed. I think it was called the Jackhammer Massacre, and Vanessa82 Horror reviewed the Slumber Party Massacre. Had a great week overall. Everybody did an excellent job on their reviews, and just a fun theme, so definitely go check out our videos from last week if you haven't. But yeah, like I said, this week is a horror battle week, and without further ado, the two films that I chose to battle for you guys, they're not really similar at all. They're two different films, but they're the two newest Scream Factory releases, and I decided why not battle them. And the first one is a 1987 film, directed by Stuart Gordon, and that is Dolls, versus a 1976 film, Squirm. Okay, so we're going to go over the basic plot of Dolls. I'm just going to take it out of slipcover and show you guys the original theatrical poster. So pretty much a basic plot of Dolls. It's about this family. It's about this guy named David. I think his name is David Bauer. I could be wrong on the last name, but I'm pretty positive his first name is David. He has a daughter named Judy, and you have Judy's stepmother, who is named Rosemary. I can't stand her, but she's like a rich snob, but pretty much they're going on vacation, and it's storming very bad. The father has the map, he's trying to figure out where they're at, and I mean, it's just obvious that they're lost, and they're getting really mad at each other, and they get stuck in the mud, and it is storming very bad. It's thundering, and pretty much they see a house from a distance, and they decide, hey, let's go see if we can stay there, or call somebody or something. And pretty much they're greeted by a guy named Gabriel and his wife Hillary, and they say, oh, you can come in, you can stay the night, until the storm passes. And they run into a few more people, a guy named Ralph and two British chicks. I think their name is like Isabel and I can't remember the other one. But pretty much they end up staying there, and there's something inside the house. It's obviously titled Dolls. I don't want to spoil it, but that is the basic plot of Dolls. Okay, so moving on to Squirm. I'm going to use the back of the Blu-ray case to help me out a little bit here. Pretty much when a powerful storm knocks Fly Creek, Georgia's power lines into the wet soil, pretty much the resulting surge of electricity drives these bloodthirsty worms to the surface, and pretty much the town has to figure out, what's going on. That's really the very brief, plot synopsis of Squirm, but, there's a lot of build up to this film. It's a very slow moving film. You get a lot of character development, and yeah, it's pretty much about this lady. I can't remember her name right now, but it's really centered around her family and this new guy. This guy that she knows, but he's new to town. He's a city folk, and the people really don't like him, and they actually think that he's doing this. So it's pretty interesting. But that is the basic plot to Squirm. Okay, guys, so starting off this horror battle, round one, which film do I think had the better kills, Squirm or Dolls? Obviously, this is about killer worms. This is about Dolls. Well, they both had some decent kills. This right here had some really good effects for 1976. But really the thing is, I'm not afraid of worms or dolls, but in Dolls, they had some very creative kills, I think. Some that kind of made me cringe, because when it comes to getting stabbed in the ankle and the foot, like ripping nails out and stuff like that, that stuff makes me cringe. And there's a scene where this woman gets stabbed in the foot and they start sawing her foot. So in terms of like kills, how creative, I would probably have to go round one, would definitely go to Dolls. Okay, so moving on to round two, which film do I think had the better story? Dolls or Squirm? I don't think either of these are that original. I mean, maybe Squirm is a little bit more original than Dolls, because this was in 1976. I don't really know any killer, worm movies. I mean, there's a few out there. I'm just saying, back in 1976. That's the thing though, I do like the story of dolls. I like, how the people created them and this and that. I like that. I think, there is some, creepiness to the story of dolls, even though the dolls didn't really freak me out. Well, there was some stuff with the dolls that I was like, whoa, which was a little weird. I don't know. This one just moved at a better pace, in my opinion. But then again, I think that this right here could have maybe been like a part of a horror anthology. This one, had a lot of character development and, spent a lot of time with the characters, and I do like that. But, I don't know, I'm just going to have to give this round a tie. I don't think they're either really that original, but I don't really see one being better than the other. So round 2 is a tie. Okay guys, so moving on to round 3, and that is which film do I think had the better acting and directing? Well, I think both films are pretty well directed. This one was directed by Stuart Gordon. I think he did Reanimator. Could be wrong. I think he's done different films. I'm pretty sure he did Reanimator. Could be wrong though. And this one was directed by Jeff Lieberman or Lieberman. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I thought it was pretty well directed. I really liked the beginning of the film, how it's shot. It was really well edited. At this one part, it was really good. I liked, the beginning of it. Throughout the film it was well directed, but I just really like what they did with the beginning of the film. Same goes with this one. I thought it was pretty well directed, and I liked some of the stuff that they did at the beginning of the film. So in terms of directing, I think they're both equal. I think they're both pretty well directed, and acting wise, I have to say the same thing. The people in this film, trying to think of their names, you have Caroline Gordy, I'm Patrick Williams. I'm just trying to think. I don't know anybody in the film, but they did a pretty good job. I like I like the character of Gabriel and his wife. I like the little girl Judy. I like Ralph. I thought everybody did a pretty good job in this film. And the same goes with this film. It felt natural. They felt like they were friends and stuff like that. So, I think the acting was pretty good in both films. So I'm going to have to give round 3 a tie. Okay, guys. So before moving on to round 4, the score is Dolls 3 and Squirm 2. So pretty much if Dolls wins this next round, coming, round 4, then it will win the horror battle. But if Squirm wins, it will be a tie, 3-3, and we will advance to a tiebreaker round, which will be round 5, which do I think is a better overall horror film. But moving on to round 4, and that is which film do I think had the better killer, or killers in this case, and either the dolls from Dolls or the worms from Squirm. I'm not afraid of either, but at least Dolls have a personality, and I think that you can make sequels to this film. I don't know if you could carry on 2 or 3 films about killer worms. So I'm going to have to go with Dolls. So Dolls has officially won this horror battle, guys. But yeah, guys, this is pretty much it for my horror battle. Leave a comment down below. What do you think of Dolls and Squirm? And if you guys would have had a horror battle, which one would have won your horror battle? Leave a comment down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for Little Rocker Cuties video, Jeremy Burchett's video, and Vanessa 82 Horrors video. That will be later on, through this week. And yeah, thank you guys for checking out Late Night Frights. I'll leave our Facebook link and our website link down in the description. Please go check that out, and peace.